Technology has and will continue to play a huge role in society as a medium for information transfer. As technologies continue to be developed, privacy rights and data security are becoming increasingly important issues. It's easy to see that in the age of information, we need to maintain a legitimate form of protecting sensitive information from misuse. One software professional, Edward Snowden, drew attention to this need by disclosing information on the National Security Agency's domestic mass surveillance operations. He has since then been on the receiving end for criticism for his actions. However, it is my belief that he was correct in his decision to whistleblow on this powerful agency. Without his action, the public would have remained ignorant of the reality of mass domestic surveillance that our current technologies have made possible. Due to the sheer amount of information that is now electronically available, I believe it is important to understand the nature of the controversy surrounding the NSA's domestic intelligence programs. These interactions are what will shape the country's policies regarding information, privacy, and individual liberty. NSA's domestic counterterrorism intelligence gathering is conducted under Section 702, which is divisible into two types of collection, PRISM and upstream collection. Under PRISM collection, Internet service providers must provide communications sent to and from a given selector, such as an email address. Upstream collection involves sifting through content gained by tapping the backbone over which Internet and telephone services are transited to find whether certain triggers are hit. This method collects about data as well as multiple communications transactions, which may include audio, telephone calls, along with Internet communications. NSA's Civil Liberties and Privacy Office released a review that uses the fair use of information principles to evaluate how the NSA protects civil liberties and privacy rights. They determined that all of the principles of FIPPS have been upheld save for two: transparency and individual participation, which cannot be upheld because it involves notifying the target individual that they are under surveillance. These exceptions to FIPPS restrict the public's ability to be informed of the extent and scope to which they are monitored and to give consent to it. Due to this, Section 702 programs come into conflict with a few of the principles of the SE Code of Ethics, including 1.03, 1.05, 207, 3.03, 4.01, 4.05, all of which seek to promote the protection of privacy rights and disclosure of issues of public, ethical, and social concern created by or enabled by software. The ethical implications of Section 702 surveillance regarding privacy and civil liberties is very serious. Now, more than ever, telephone records and especially Internet communications stand to reveal intimate details about an individual's life, such as political, religious, and personal associations. Individual privacy is obviously put at serious risk in such bulk collection programs. What's more, allowing the government to collect and store mass amounts of personal information about its citizens puts a strain on the trust between citizen and state. Without some certainty in the confidentiality, individuals may no longer feel comfortable exercising their rights to free speech and association for fear of prosecution. In its report, the PCLOB made 12 recommendations to make the NSA's intelligence gathering operations more constitutionally compliant. These recommendations range from ending the bulk telephone program altogether, implementing additional privacy safeguards, enabling a legislation for stricter court review, and increasing transparency towards the public and other relevant judicial bodies of Congress. While these recommendations have the potential to be implemented, I believe the use of surveillance technology is and will continue to be developed and used to gain the advantage in terms of social, economic, and financial matters. Not only has the NSA been caught spying on both international and domestic corporations, James Clapper, the Director of National Intelligence, admitted to economic espionage, claiming that, unlike China, the spying is never done to benefit American corporations. Much like the nuclear bomb, even with the potential dangers realized, the technology and its capabilities will not cease to exist, but merely pass hands as it evolves. This adds to the importance of awareness of the implications of surveillance technology, because in order to ensure some measure of accountability and legislative regulation, there must first be some degree of transparency. Consider a hypothetical situation where I work as an NSA software engineer, helping to build an engine that will sort and analyze tapped Internet communications to build profiles on individuals who have a slight chance of being related to known terrorist groups or activities. Knowing that there is a non-zero likelihood for these intimate, detailed profiles to be created for persons not directly related to the counter-terrorist purposes of the software, as a professional dedicated to the public good, I would have to make an ethical decision whether to raise concerns to a higher-up about the ethicality of such a deep intrusion of privacy on non-involved people. Considering the scope of intrusion and the potential use of such technology on a national and international scale, I would first present my concerns and propose alterations to the proper higher authorities Should I not receive the proper considerations, I would relay my concerns along the appropriate channels until the issue receives the attention it deserves. In the situation where I am met with only indifference, it would be my professional obligation to disclose the potential misuse of the software product to the population whose information is being mined, much like Snowden.
Once upon a time, at the foot of a great mountain, there was a town where the